Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a brand new speed build, this time doing a little picturesque cottage. So it's a one bed, one bathroom build set on a 30 by 20 lot in Henford-on-Bagley, and it comes in at just less than 80,000 simoleons. So I've been playing around doing much bigger builds recently, and I wanted to do something a little bit smaller, a bit more quaint and cute, and I absolutely love doing cottage designs. So I decided to do this little cottage, and I wanted to make it in Henford-on-Bagley. I did actually look at doing it in Windenburg because I feel like that's like the perfect world to do cottages, but this world is also fast becoming one of my favourites as well. It's very picturesque, very green and full of trees and farms and beautiful stuff like that. However, as I started to build this particular build, I found that the camera was really difficult to navigate around the back of the building, and it just kind of got a little bit awkward. So I ended up, not only that, but I was getting really carried away with building this particular cottage, and then as I finally built like the final design of it, I realized it filled a lot of this particular lot size. So I did end up like playing around with moving it to a bigger lot so I could do sort of a bigger landscaping with it. But then I was like, well, because the interior was only like one bedroom, one bathroom, so I didn't want to end up placing it on a huge lot because I felt like that was a little bit of a waste. And so then I was like, well, can I make the inside maybe a 2-bedroom build instead? Which I could have done, but it would have been like a really small 2-bed build. And I just wanted it to be like a little tiny, quaint cottage that was just perfect for like an elderly retired couple, or, you know, like an elderly sim on her own. So I did end up moving this build to various different lots just because it was quite awkward in the end to get around the back of it. But I did find this really beautiful lot in the end, which was like, it's kind of in the town side, the bottom right hand side of Henford-on-Bagley, and it was actually the perfect lot in the end. But it did take me moving this build about 20 times before I was happy with the particular lot I was building on. So to be honest, I had no idea what I was doing, no real idea of how I wanted it to be. I mean, I set up this little template of windows and I was just playing around with all sorts of different designs and windows and styles, and the end result is kind of just a bit all over the place. I feel like I just went with the flow, and you know, it kind of is a bit of an odd looking cottage at the end of it, but I did think it was quite cute, and so I thought I will just carry on with it and see how we get on. So I hope you're all well and you're all enjoying Easter if you celebrate it. My kids have just been off for a couple of weeks and they've just had the best time decompressing from school, eating lots of chocolate, having lots of fun. So I've definitely enjoyed it. It's been really nice to spend some time with them. I've actually been quite busy these holidays. I've currently spent to date about 37 hours in the new game of Inzoi. And I was toying with the idea of actually uploading a build to my channel. But I'll be really honest, I did do a speed build for Inzoi, and I actually did two. I did a modern build and I also did, it was like a Mediterranean style build. And I did kind of like the editing for it and I was going to upload it, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to, because in my opinion, Inzoi right now in its current state is not that enjoyable to play. It's very, very lackluster in content at the moment. The building element of the game is really not very fluid at all, and it's quite restrictive as well. To be honest, there's a lot of talk about Inzoi at the moment, a lot of pitting against The Sims 4, and I really wanted to go in with an open mind and just see, you know, I love simulation games, and as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to be that if you play The Sims 4, that's the only simulation game that you're allowed to play. I mean, you're free to play Inzoi alongside The Sims 4 if you enjoy it. So I went in with an open mind because as a builder, I don't only build in The Sims 4, I play a lot of different games. I've played things from Ark to Subnautica. In every single kind of game that I play that has a building element to it, I always build in those types of games, and I really enjoy it. So Inzoi coming out for me was like another opportunity to enjoy building in a different game. So I had like this really kind of open mind with Inzoi, but it really is in its current state absolutely no competitor for The Sims 4. It's Sims 4 is very, very highly polished and a highly finished game, and you'll get a much more fluid experience with building. I know that a lot of people are talking about, well, the price of it and things like that, but there just is not enough content in Inzoi currently. However, the game is in early access, and I don't think it's fair to ever sort of write a game off that is in early access. I know the developers are working really hard on trying to get through bugs. It's brand new, so they've got lots and lots of room and time for, you know, going over any bugs that they've got, bringing out new content and things like that. And it was quite an enjoyable game. Like, I can see the angle that they're going with. It's much more lifelike, it's very GTA like, and I will say that the graphics are absolutely stunning. When I did the build, I actually took some screenshots at the end, and the lighting is just absolutely beautiful. So I think there's actually, you know, potentially there's a lot of hope there for the game, and I really hope it does well, because I know that people are really excited for it, and I can see the angle that they're going for, and I'm sure it'll be fantastic if they continue to work hard on it. It's just at the moment, as far as someone who is just generally a builder, not just for The Sims 4, I just found it just a little bit, it needs some more work now. So I decided not to upload that particular build. I just found it really hard work. So hopefully they'll work on it and it will improve, and they'll add more content and it'll become more enjoyable. I know for the likes of games, like a good example was No Man's Sky, they didn't have a good release at all. That game was absolutely panned at the beginning. But that game in its current state today is amazing because it's got incredible developers that work really, really hard on the game, bringing out consistent content and updates all the time. So, you know, I don't think it's one that you can just make an assumption off against The Sims 4 that's been out for as many years as it has. But it is retailing currently for $34.99 on Steam. And when you consider that that's the same price as an expansion for The Sims 4, if you've got the spare money, it's worth giving it a go. And like I say, you know, the developers will be working on it, looking to bring out new content. I think one of the next things is they're looking to add pets into it, which, to be honest, I actually thought it was already in the game, but it wasn't. So yeah, I think it's maybe worth trying if you do like simulation games. But at the moment, as far as like the pitting against Sims 4, it's not really a contender. But it was still enjoyable. It was something different to experience, at least. So speaking of game releases, The Sims 4 has just released 2 new kits. We have the Sleek Bathroom Kit as well as the Sweet Allure Kit. And I will be doing a giveaway for both of these kits over on my TikTok channel. So if you're not following me on TikTok, please ensure you do to be in with a chance to win. I'll be doing some content for that and uploading that in the next couple of days. So I'll be giving away a copy of both of those kits. Similarly, if you can't wait and you're dying to buy these kits and you'd love to support my channel in some way, my creator code is still up and live, which is SimKim. When you come to buy any kits using the EA app, you can use the promotional code, type in SimKim, and that will go towards supporting me and my channel, which would be absolutely amazing. So as you can see, I've now moved this lot over to the more like town-based Henford-on-Bagley lot in the bottom right-hand side. Ordinarily, I would never have clicked on this lot had I not been absolutely desperate to just find one that was more fitting than the one that I was in. But I'm so glad I picked it, because ordinarily I would have thought they would have been like shop-based lots because it just looked like a town centre. But when I actually clicked on it and you can see all of the little cottages around it, I thought it was just absolutely perfect for this little house. I was also thinking about doing some gameplay videos, which I might upload to my TikTok. I've been noticing there's been a few challenges over on TikTok, which I've been enjoying watching. I am growing my platform over there currently, and thank you so much to everyone that's following me already. I'm doing my best to follow everybody back as well, and just to try and support everybody else who's also doing content in the community. But I've come across some really, really good content. And one of the challenges was like is it like a single tile challenge or something like that? They start in like a 1 by 1 little square and they have to take selfies to start making money. And I thought it was so fascinating to watch it. The other thing is when I used to play The Sims, like actual gameplay type of playing, I always used to end up being an artist because I felt like it was like a really good way to make money once you got your art skill up. And I've noticed that a lot of people are using that as well to make the money. So, well, that's mainly based because they can't leave the lot. I think it is. I think that's the reason why. But I thought they were really good challenges and really fun. So I might actually do some of those and upload them to TikTok. But I'll still be keeping my YouTube channel as just like speed builds for now. So I'm just moving on to the interior, and with the theme of the interior, obviously I wanted to keep it very cottage-like. It's not overly old-fashioned, like kind of, I know that I said it would be really good for an elderly couple like of Sims, but it can really be for anybody. But I wanted to keep it in with the sort of cottage vibes that matched maybe the exterior of the build. I really, really love these particular counters as well. In fact, I think I've used them in pretty much every build that I've done since I've been back, but I just love the colour options in them. I think that's probably one of the bonuses to Inzoi is that they use like a colour wheel. So you can really, really customise what colour and themes things are within that game. And I would have loved to have seen that within The Sims 4. I don't know whether that will ever be something that will come to the game, but it would just be mind blowing if it did, because just the options it would open for customization, yeah, it would be absolutely brilliant. But I did play around with the interior and layout of this build quite a bit because, like I say at the beginning, I was going to make it a 2 bedroom build, which you can still actually do quite easily. You could actually make the turret in this build into a bathroom, and you could use the bathroom as a second bedroom, or you could just scrap it all and just do your own layout. It's entirely up to you. But in this build, I had this kitchen slash dining room. There was quite a large living room. There was a 1 bedroom, a bathroom, and there was also like a little turret, which I made into a tiny little office. So the weather here has been absolutely crazy over the last couple of weeks. It's been like a little bit of an illusion. So we've had loads and loads of sunny weather, and it's really given summer vibes in the UK. But it's absolutely freezing. So it's so deceiving and so deceptive. And I was thinking to myself, it literally feels like I'm someone who really loves autumn. It's my favorite time of the year. I love it when it's like darker nights and you can get really nice and cozy, and just there's so much to look forward to with winter as well, with Halloween and Christmas and all of these types of holidays. But it gets to this time of the year and I'm literally like, I am done being freezing cold. And like I say, the last couple of weeks, it's just been deceiving because normally by now we will have had some sort of hot weather, and it's just really not been that warm yet until yesterday. So the weather for this Easter weekend was like really hit and miss. We had a couple of sunny days planned, and then there was a couple of days where it had given out rain. So yesterday I thought, right, I'm going to take my daughter to the park and she can have like a real good run out, blow out, go burn off your energy, like just trying to make the most of the last couple of days of her school holidays. So I took her to the park and I was like, I'm going to let her just have a few hours in the park to really just enjoy herself. So I sat on this bench and it was sunny, but it was actually quite pleasantly warm. So I was like, it's actually all right. I think I could sit here for a bit. So I did. So I stayed on this bench for a couple of hours. My daughter was like playing. She was playing football, playing on the climbing frame. She was having a whale of a time. And as I sat there, I was thinking, God, this weather is actually really quite nice. I could feel the chill in the wind, but I was like, no, this is nice today. Until I got home, that was, and realised that even though the temperature was 16 at maximum 17 degrees, I've actually managed to burn myself. So my arms are burned, my feet, I've got a burn on my foot, and then I must have been positioned like where the sun was like on the right side of my body. So I think part of my forehead's burnt, my nose is burnt, and like one of my cheeks is burnt. Ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. And it was so much so, it was literally burning as well. So I had to get some like after sun and try and cool it down. And I felt a little bit like I had heat stroke yesterday. It's just like really 16 degrees. But the thing is, the previous weekend, it had been my best friend's 40th birthday, and I'd been sat out in the garden all day. It was a lovely day then as well, and it did get a bit chilly in the evening, but I didn't burn at all. I was absolutely fine. So, yeah, that's just absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So that was actually a really lovely weekend as well because I got to go back to my hometown and celebrate my best friend's birthday. I also went for a really nice drive around because I lived in my hometown until I was 25. And so every now and then I will go back and I'll visit my childhood home and I'll go for a walk around. It's like down in this valley where there's a really nice river, and it was just really nice to go back and reminisce and think about all the good times. I've got so many good times and happy memories of the time that I lived in that town. And yeah, it was just a really lovely weekend. So I was asked on TikTok about my builds and whether they were available on the Sims 4 gallery, and they are. They're available under hashtag SimKim or hashtag SimKimBuilds. I always upload the build when I upload the YouTube video, so you should be able to see it. If you can't find it, feel free to drop me a message, because it might be that for whatever reason I haven't uploaded it. I may have forgot. So it's always good to drop me a message if you can't find it, but you will find all my builds under SimKim, or my actual EA ID is SimKimBuilds, so you'll definitely find them under there if I have uploaded them. But I'm just finishing off this bathroom, and then I had this tiny little turret to finish as well, which I decided to just stick a little desk in it. Stick a little desk in there, and that was the end of that. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, it would be awesome if you could. And don't forget to follow me over on TikTok for my giveaways that will be coming up. But take care, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.